Welcome back, chess kids and YouTubers. Before we get going in this little trip down memory lane, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and you'll turn my frown upside down. Why am I frowning? Well, it's more of a fake frown, but we are going to take a trip down memory lane. We're going to take a look at Funmaster Mike's first ever loss on ChessKid. Would you believe it actually took 6 years for me to lose a game? And I mean a legitimate game, okay? I had 1 or 2 games on there where I lost in one move due to disconnection. The first legitimate loss, you don't have to look back in my game history because I already did it for you. I was black in this game and I'm only marginally worse, but I got myself into some deep water that I could not swim out of with my very wrong knight move, knight b6. Now, when I was growing up, my coach taught me never put your knight on b3 and b6. I sound a little bit like Ben Feingold there when I say never. Of course, there are exceptions, but this is not one of them. My knight absolutely does not belong on the b6 square. This would have been one of those times where I would have been wise to remember my own video on backward moves. No, wait a minute. Had I recorded the video back when I lost this game in 2019? Honestly, I'm not sure, but this is the big dream square for the knight. It's not a real outpost yet because the pawn could come to c3, but it is the best thing I've got. So the correct move for me, knowing that my opponent was going to double rooks, was to move the knight back to f8. And the brilliance of that move is that when white does double rooks, I could trade, or I could play this move knight to e6, which defends the rook and it eyeballs the square d4. That's where my knight wants to be. So this is what I should have done. Even rook e8 is possible because my knight even guards the entry square d7. So his doubled rooks don't actually do a lot. So my knight is actually quite brilliant on f8, but instead I played knight b6 and well, let's take a look at how I lost the game. My opponent doubled rooks. Then I played bishop f6. I honestly don't remember if I was hanging this pawn on purpose or if I just forgot. If the bishop takes, I could think about trapping the bishop, but you know what? Part of being an old man and playing old man chess is kind of forgetting why you did some stuff, okay? You ever walk into a room and wonder why you walked in that room? Well, let's not talk about that. Let's go back to chess. Okay, so my opponent did take, and there actually is not really a way to trap the bishop, because if I play the move g5, my opponent could just play rook g3 and win a second pawn, because this rook is guarded by the knight. I'm losing another pawn. So, well, yeah, that doesn't work. Can't trap the bishop, and I'm still wondering why I walked in the room. Okay, so I played knight c4. General rule of thumb, try to make the game messy and complicated when you are behind, and that's me following my own advice. But my opponent played this really nice move, knight to d5, forking the bishop and this pawn. I'm totally lost. I tried rook d6, guarding the bishop, but my opponent correctly took this pawn, discover attacking this rook, and normal attacking that rook. So I took, my opponent took, but now I'm in deep trouble because I basically have answered an attack with an attack. My rook is hanging, my knight is hanging, so I took, attacking his rook, but when his rook moved to attack my knight, my rook move attacked his knight. But again, if you're the first person to make an attack, you usually end up on top, and my opponent simply just moved the knight back. Now my knight is still in danger, my bishop's in danger, and unfortunately, even though I saved my bishop, my opponent can take because the back rank checkmate is covered. I tried this tricky move g5 to try to trap the bishop and make this mate threat on c1, but my opponent played the very nice move h4, fixing all of his problems. And here, white went on to win. With the extra piece, the bishop is not trapped, the king is not checkmated, and CDA-ARC. I don't know who you are in the world, but you will forever live on in ChessKid history as the first ever chess kid to beat Funmaster Mike.